I messed that up? Hi friends, I was gonna say my intro, I don't know, I keep forgetting it and then I've gotta do this thing. I think we're on take 273. So, and it's a Sunday afternoon and I've got a lot of stuff I gotta do and I don't wanna sit here all day. Anyways, so I'm going to continue talking about my personal misdiagnosis discovery journey. And in my last video, I talked about, I stopped at where I ended up Baker acting, what is it, Baker acted or Baker acting myself, after my husband just had said, listen, this is enough. I can't handle you. I don't know what else to do with you. I think I was 39 years old or 40. He's like, I don't know. So I just kind of couldn't handle life anymore. And I just needed some help navigating life and just needed to figure out what was going on with me so then I can start healing and recovering from these minions that I kept thinking that were in my head controlling me, and I knew I was not crazy, but something was going on. So I Baker acted myself again a week before Christmas, and when I did, of course, when you say that you're suicidal, they take you in. And I was sure that they were going to release me that same night because with borderline, you know, we had these, I was having stressors and triggers going on. So after about a few hours, I was okay. So can I go home now? And they were like, no, you're not going to be leaving for a while. And so that was really hard for me. It was near Christmas time and I was kind of just kicking myself that I did that. I just wanted a quick fix. So with that said, I was in this mental health facility for 1 week. I was kept in there 1 week. I actually stayed there during on Christmas Day, and that was extremely tough for me. Really, really tough for me. I just remember spending Christmas Day just with strangers, and it was tough. And doped up on a lot of medicine. But what I will say with that, so remember, I went in with this bipolar manic depressive diagnosis I got years ago. So here I am now. I think I was 40 years old. I was going to turn 40 in that January. So I go in and I sit in front of the doctor the next day because we were all in line waiting to see the great wizard doctor that seemed to just not show up every day. So I was sitting on this cold chair and I was freezing. And I'm sitting across from him and told him about my history and what was going on. And so then he's like, well, yeah, you do have bipolar. I don't think you have manic depression. I just think you have bipolar. I'm like, all right, seems right. And so I just was telling him I need to go home. I want to go home. He's like, well, you can't go home. You're going to be here for a couple of days. You're in no condition to leave. And I'm like, what do you mean? I was just okay a couple minutes ago. And so what happened after that is I was just doped up on a lot of medications. You know, it's a mental health facility. Their job is to stabilize you, keep you safe so you are not self-harming or, you know, suicidal or hurting anyone else. And I understand. And there's a lot of merit to those facilities. They are great to help people just, you know, get stable for a little while. And it was a great facility and it did help me out in a lot of ways. But the thing that was very hard for me was being so doped up on medicine. That was really hard, and not seeing my family and just wanting to know when I can leave because I felt good. I didn't feel abnormal. I didn't feel, you know, I felt stable, but then unstable. So again, I had the bipolar diagnosis. So I did get released. I think it was maybe the day after Christmas or 2 days after. It was hard for me. My family took me on a quick trip. I think we went to might have been St. Augustine, and that was really nice for me. You know, what happened with that is I needed to follow up with a psychiatrist in order to get medicine. Which I didn't have health insurance at that time, or don't have health insurance. So what happened is I was trying to locate a psychiatrist within my area to make sure that I get my prescriptions filled, because I obviously didn't want to just cold turkey it off my medication because I know that I would have a relapse. But I also remember just feeling so not right on this medication. I was tired all the time. Of course, I was gaining weight, which was terrible for me because I've been about image my whole entire life, and I still didn't feel right. I felt actually worse than I felt before I went in. And so I proceeded to find a psychiatrist, and I ended up finding a psychiatrist that was probably about 45 minutes from my home. And I researched him. He seemed pretty good. You know, was relatively inexpensive. And I actually went to him. So my first visit, seeing him, he sat across this big, beautiful wooden table. And I noticed that he was actually was a priest in his lifetime. He was a retired priest. And so I thought that was very comical. I couldn't believe it. And he was actually, I think, 75, maybe even older. He was a well-groomed man and very smart. And I just remember sitting across from him and just telling him my story. Just came out of the hospital. I need to get medication. Bipolar. Rambling on about my story and what's going on with me. And, you know, I'm losing my marriage. I'm losing everything. I'm out of my mind. This rat race, being in this boxing ring with my mental health is just draining me. I don't know what to do, but I need my medication. So can you please give it to me, and I'll leave here and we'll be done. And so what he did is he had then, I remember specifically, he had his glasses a little bit down low, and he moved forward to his beautiful dark wood desk there, and he said to me, he goes, you do not have bipolar. I said, oh, I don't? He says, no, you don't have bipolar. And he said, what you have is, you are just a spoiled brat. And I sat there. I remember leaning back in the chair. It was like a pit in my stomach, and I thought he was joking. So I was just waiting for like the kicker to come. Like he was like, ah, yeah. I felt like I was like on one of those I don't know what they're called, is comedies where they're going to come out and be like, my husband was going to come out and be like, ha, because my husband's been telling me I'm a spoiled brat for so many years. I thought he was going to come out like the closet and everybody was going to be like, I told you so. But you're just a spoiled brat. You have been able to get your way for your entire life, and no one's ever stopped your behavior. And I just was sitting there. I'm like, well, that's interesting you say that, because my husband mentioned that to me, but it was just, I thought he was just, you didn't know what to do with me. And he says, no, I don't believe you have bipolar at all. And I said, well, this is impossible, because I've been diagnosed with this for about 20 something years now. And he's like, well, I'm just sorry to tell you, what you have can be controlled. And he never then mentioned anything about borderline. I think he did not actually label me at all. He just told me that I was a spoiled brat, and what I needed to do is to just stop being a spoiled brat, period, and just learn how to control my emotions and just go on with life. And he did not recommend the medicine. He was actually just telling me that he doesn't think that I should be on the medication, but he also knew that I just couldn't go off of it right away. So he gave me a very small dosage, and he wanted to wean myself off of it. And so I thought that was crazy. So I walked out of there, and of course, who do you think is the first person I thought of to call is my husband? And he just, I remember his laugh was so hearty, but not like a know-it-all laugh. It was just like, I just can't believe what happened. And, of course we tell the whole family, because it's a big thing, Joelle, guess what? She is a spoiled brat. Her diagnosis is spoiled brat. And so it was actually, it was like a comedy, but it was actually very serious. But for me, what it did for me is like, made sense, because the problem that I'm having was behavioral. It was acting out. And so having spoiled brat and not having bipolar, because bipolar never felt like it fit me. So needless to say, I weaned myself off the medication. And at this time I was a Christian. So I really focused on my relationship with Jesus, and tried to, just trying to get myself a little bit better. And one of the things I will say is having a great support system within your family is essential, super essential in your recovery with mental health. And so my husband stood by my side. He stuck by me. He tough loved me, and I hated every minute of it. I wanted him to just give in to me.
Hold on.
So needless to say, I was super dumbfounded when he gave me this, I don't even know if it's a diagnosis, call it a spoiled brat. I'm going to wrap up this video by saying that meeting with that psychiatrist at that time was the moment that changed my life, because for 30 something years I thought I had bipolar, and I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I was so sick and tired of being drugged up and still feeling things inside that were just not right. So that meeting with him changed the course of my life, my relationships with the people that were close to me. And I'm going to share what the next 7 to 10 years, or 7 to 8 years look like after that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you allowing me to share my story with you. And I hope that you are encouraged or get something out of it. I don't want to demand anything from you, but if you found it helpful, please subscribe, like, and share with someone that can benefit from this video. I appreciate you and look forward to sharing the next one with you.